Okay. Okay. Is that better? This is why we need to check things, and this is why I don't normally take a break. Because I don't normally... Taking such a long break now, I gotta make sure all my stuff's working again and all the audio's going, and I'm really hoping, because there's a little bit of a delay. My wife's a little bit behind me, although she is listening to the audio. So I won't know if what I did actually worked for... Okay, it works? Fantastic. Okay. Wife's upstairs with little boy, putting him to sleep. So my wife convinced me to do live streams later in the day so that little boy can be asleep. And not... I don't need to find a babysitter. But that's about it. Time to dub. Hey, I could really mess that up. About 2.5 minutes. Yeah, I know. There's a bit of a delay because of how YouTube handles StreamYard and all that funkiness. So, okay, back to the actual story. Okay, so today we'll be covering two things. I got COVID. So if you haven't seen the title, I got COVID, and I'll hopefully edit out that section. Just get rid of it. But we're going to talk about COVID. We're going to talk about fallout from the 2020 election as far as what that means for America itself. Some of the things that I'm seeing coming down the pipeline. We'll explore both Donald Trump, if he's able to pull it off and get reelected, or if Biden does get it. And we'll just look at both and examine what the past looked like. So, but first of all, we get to, why the hell, fella, have I not been streaming? It has been too long. So, why? Got sick. Got sick first with a little cold, runny nose, coughing. I was coughing all the time. And whenever I get a cough, it hangs on there and grips it. So I end up having a cough for a long time. It's really annoying, definitely when I'm trying to do streams. So got the cold, was oh, well. I'm just making sure there's not another issue. Got the cold, was oh, well, I guess I gotta take a couple of weeks because let's be honest, I was talking like this and that, I didn't want a whole bunch of videos with me doing this and coughing all the time, taking moments to blow my nose, which I don't think anyone wants to see that, let's be honest. It doesn't sound pleasant. So I'm looking forward to recontinuing the series that we've been doing on the rightly guided caliphs. I've done 2 so far. I have 2 more to cover, and the next one's actually pretty cool. This is where it really starts falling apart, and we're going to see some really cool stuff come out in this bit of history lesson that we're doing. So we've got that, and I was looking forward to getting that, and finally got over the cold, got that scheduled, and my brother, which we live together, has a bit of... it looked like got the same thing we had. And I was like, oh, he's got the same thing. So that's just going through. It's going through my family. It's going to go through, my siblings. Everyone's going to have it for a little bit. Not a big deal. So next week we got sick again. I was like, come on, really? This time it was a little different. And it was like, oh, well, this is weird. And my brother needed to go in for checking because of work. Since I'm self-employed, I don't require that I go in for testing every time I cough. But he had COVID. So, woo! And then we ended up getting it. So, wife went in, she tested positive, and I'm like, well, if you got it, I definitely got it. Because if it's contagious at all, I've got it. So, ended up going through that whole thing. I'll tell you the symptoms and how we dealt with it. Again, it was the same thing. It really was. It was a cold. I know some people have a much higher reaction. In fact, issues with it because he also got pneumonia with him. So one thing after another with him. So if you don't have any underlying symptoms or you don't get something on top of it, it really isn't that big of a deal. And so I ended up got the stupid swollen. Felt like I had watermelon shoved into my face. That's what it felt like. It felt so much pressure here. And I took a couple of ibuprofen. My knees and joints ached because we had inflammation everywhere. And again, ibuprofen took that away, and that was about it. Lost smell for a while, which of course my wife's like going into the fridge. I can't smell. So she calls me over. Hey, honey, does this smell right to you? And I'm looking at her. Really? Oh, yeah. We're going through this together. If you can't smell, I can't smell. So what? Expect me to look at you and say I don't smell anything either? It smells good to me. Taste it. Find out. So we lost smell for a little bit. Didn't lose taste. I didn't lose taste, at least. I seemed to keep it the whole time. But that was about it. That was it. It was just annoying because, again, I talked like this the entire time. I coughed a lot. I had a little bit of a runny nose. And I was like, oh, I got cold and then I can't stream right after. Oh, boy. So let's see here. Yes. Okay. Coming home for Christmas. I'm glad to hear that. Christmas plans. Christmas. Guys, seriously, get out and do Christmas. Don't let fear overtake you. That's something you constantly hear this from every direction. I'm thinking I'm going to do a video on fear itself pretty soon. But you hear it from every direction where fear. It's like, okay, I've got a God. I don't need to live in a constant state of panic. In fact, that's not biblical. It's anti-biblical to be living in a constant state of fear. That doesn't mean just throw being intelligent to the wind, mind you. But don't let it hinder you to such an extreme that you don't get to be with family and friends. Again, going through this COVID thing, it was not any big deal. My father, he's in his 50s, mid-50s, he had it less than I did. In fact, he had like a runny nose for like 2 hours and was done with it. It was over. There wasn't anything more for him to write home about. That was it. And both my parents had it, and they shrugged it off, and they don't have large underlying conditions that would cause massive issues. They don't. Now, my wife had a bit of a problem with that, but that's because she does have underlying conditions to it. So she had a bit of a worse off. But even then, we were still able to pull through. There was never any time that we're like, oh, one of us is going to die. No, this thing has about a 96 to 99% survival rate. So I don't know about you, but I'd gamble on those odds. I mean, anything above 90 is a pretty safe bet. At least anyone would tell you that. So that's basically what I've been doing, and been holding off just to make sure that everything goes away before I'm able to get on here and be able to stream with you guys again. So I'm looking at, again, continuing our series we've been doing, the historical series on the Rightly Guided Caliphs. We've got the next 2 coming up. Those are going to be really cool. After that, I do have hell that I'm going to be covering, because let's be honest, not a lot of churches have been talking about this. And this is part of the Bible, is hell. And there are a lot of pastors out there who will refuse to talk about hell. And it needs to be covered. And then we'll just go from there and continue on and see where it goes. So I guess something that's been definitely in this Christmas season, which I'm psyched, is fun. We've got a Christmas tree up. We've got all these Christmas lights all around. It's really a lot of fun getting everything set up. But something that's annoyed me, definitely watching shows, seeing commercials come on. I don't know how many times I've seen commercials with grandparents who aren't going to be able to see their kids or grandkids, and they're just watching them on this little screen. And like, even in this times of trial, we must socially distance. I'm sitting there like, those are really, I don't know if they just pick bad actors, But those are really old grandparents. They didn't look like, to be honest with you, just being upfront, honest, didn't look like they had that many more years left. Really didn't. It didn't look like that they had that much longer to live. And I'm sitting there like, if I was in their position, screw COVID. I'm going to go see my grandkids. I'm going to hug them. I'm going to kiss them. Even if COVID kills me, I'm going to do it because this might be the last Christmas I get to spend with them. And tell you truthfully, we don't know if it's going to be our last Christmas, our last time to spend it with family. We must make it count. And if you want to live in fear, that's not biblical. Sorry, that's not what the Bible says to do. The Bible says that God did not give us a spirit of fear, but the power of a sound mind. Think about it. If you want to take extra steps, if you want to wear a mask, that's fine. You can wear a mask. I don't think they do crap. In fact, there's hardly any studies out there even saying they do anything. But if psychologically you want to wear it, it's America. Go wear a mask. If it's also America if you don't want to. I know that's controversial, but considering the CDC originally said don't wear masks. So don't let fear take this Christmas away. Don't let it crush that. This is going to be my son's second Christmas, and he's going to celebrate it with his grandparents, because we live on the same property. He's going to celebrate with my parents, with my wife's parents, and with my great-grandparents. So we're all going to celebrate together, and I'm not going to miss that, and I'm not going to let COVID steal that from my son. I'm not going to let COVID steal that from my grandparents. Where, yeah, they're old, to put it lightly. But I'm not going to let fear cripple our family. And I would encourage you not to let fear cripple yours. Because the Lord has a time for us all, and that will come and pass. But it's not in my control. And if God says that it's my time, it's going to be my time, COVID or no COVID. So, again, don't be stupid, but also don't live in fear as a slave. Don't do it. We are freed for a reason. So, I guess that's my spiel on COVID. Let's go ahead and switch on over to our political conversation, shall we? So, 2020 election. I'm really, really concerned. Not just a little bit. I am extremely concerned. Either way. Going down either avenue, I'm concerned. Because one, there's some funkiness going on out there. Now, for YouTube's sake, because YouTube likes to delete anything that contradicts its identity or its current thoughts of political spheres. I'm not saying there's widespread voter fraud. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that there's definitely some screwiness happening in very specific locations. That's what I'm going with. And I'm sticking to it. So, we have, let's look at if Trump is able to take it. And he takes it before the Supreme Court, and they do actually throw out the mail-in ballots, Trump wins. Pure and simple. The problem with that is people are going to feel there's going to be a group of people within the United States that's going to feel that the election was stolen, that Trump's a tyranny, that a tyrannical ruler, and that's what America is. And that's a recipe for a very, very, very bad situation. And the problem with that is, again, we've got a large media who has been just yelling in people's ears that it's over, it's over, it's over, when the final cards have not been counted yet. The final votes have not been counted. So it's not yet over. And even if he does overturn it legally, it will still look to many, many, many Americans as it was done illegally. And even in that case, we are going to have a lot of civil unrest based upon that, because they're going to feel that there was a stolen election. Not that they haven't been saying that for the last 4 years and haven't given up on that. So if Trump gets it, I expect a lot of problems. I really do. So flip side, let's look at the Biden side of it. First of all, I don't think Biden's going to make it through his first term. In fact, I would bet money on it that Biden doesn't finish his first term. I don't even think he'll finish his first year. I don't think he'll make it a year. I think he's going to either die or, as the Democrats have already been pushing, be removed for health reasons, being incapable of doing it, of being a president, and then Kamala's going to get in. Very simple, very straightforward. I'd take that to the bank very easily, because it's very obvious that's what's going to happen. Now, again, looking at America, we see the flip of what happened with Trump. You're going to have a lot of Americans upset that they feel that the election was stolen. So they feel that there was a lot of fraud that wasn't investigated. No one seems to be backing it. It doesn't seem to be going. Right now, we got a lawsuit from Texas against the United States in order to try to stop this as is. But we'll see how that shakes out. And if the Supreme Court refuses to hear that, to even look at it, because the Supreme Court so far has refused to even look at anything. The problem with that is now you have a whole bunch of Americans who do not believe that they have a legal means to be heard. And that's going to be an issue. That's going to be a huge issue. Because if they feel that they are not being represented, their interests are not being represented, you're going to have a massive problem with unrest based upon that. So either way, I think the 2020 election will go down in history. I think either way, it's not looking good. Again, all I'm doing is warning what I'm seeing coming down the pipeline. One, if Biden gets it, he will not last very long. In fact, I question if he will even make it the first year before Kamala is put in as president. Because the extreme left has been pushing her something fierce, and even though she really didn't do good in the primaries at all, for some reason she was still picked as the VP, and Biden doesn't look like he'll be able to handle himself or be capable of it. In fact, if anything, I actually kind of feel bad for Biden. I really feel bad that he's got to deal with this and be used like this. I don't even know if he's done it twice where he says he's running for Senate when he was running for the presidency. I don't know if he knows what he's even doing. It really brings that into question. And in that case, he's being used and abused. Plain and simple. So that would be my opinions on his position. And that's my opinions on what's coming down the pipeline for us. Either way, we're going to see civil unrest. If Trump gets it, we're seeing the left still continuing and snowballing what they've currently been doing, rioting and looting. Although if Biden gets it, I already see states trying to leave the union. And in fact, I've already heard hints, if the Supreme Court doesn't take this seriously, that they are going to be looking at seceding from the Union. So what we'd be looking at is another Civil War situation. And the question, there will be many questions that we brought up with that. And I'm just saying what looks like it's coming down the pipe. I might be warning that this is a possible path that we could be taking. I would be very happy if we didn't take this path. I don't want to take this path. This path's not going to be nice. It will be a lot of pain. There will be a lot of dead. And as the Patriot said, the movie Patriot, the innocent will die with the rest of us. And that's what we're going to be seeing. Again, as far as bloody warfares go, the Civil War was terribly bloody because we didn't only have the casualties on the side of the North, but we had the casualties on the side of the South because it was all Americans fighting. And there were many times that it was brother versus brother, and that's what we would be seeing. And unfortunately, if you look at the maps of the election, and if it does divide up where you have the who voted Democrat are going to stay with the Democrats, and who voted Republican are going to stay with the Republicans, we're going to have city versus country. That's what's going to come down to. We'll have cities and we'll have countries in the country area. So the large swaths of hunters and farmers and fishermen that actually know how to shoot things. So, woohoo! This doesn't look good. Because if you push so extreme and make it so that there's a large group of people that can't do anything, don't feel that their voice are being heard, don't feel that they're even being taken seriously, you're going to get bloodshed. And that's the path that we are currently on, no matter which side, really. We need to be able to defuse this situation. And tell you truthfully, at this point, I don't know how. I don't know if it's even possible, if we can defuse what's been going on anymore. I'm wondering if we might have gone past the point of no return. Scary? Yes. Here's the best news that we can take from this. Is no matter what happens in America, no matter what happens in the world at large, we know what happens at the end. We've already read Revelation. We know what's going to happen. We know that in the end, good will win. That justice will be served and God will be glorified. We know that's coming down the pipeline. We know that's what the fate is of everything. I'm just looking at this saying, it's going to be a very painful journey. I guess the only another red flag that I know from history, looking back at all the republics of old, everything that had a representative government like we do here of similar status, they all last about 200 years. And we are beyond that point. So we'll find out. We'll go down this, and the thing is, we'll be going down this together. You guys and us will be going down this together. As long as YouTube allows me to upload and stream, I'll be on YouTube. If not, I'll be finding somewhere else. I guess the best place to find me on here is on Minds. I think that's the best place to look on. But I would love to hear your guys' opinion on the 2020 election and its fallout. What do you think is going to be happening? What do you think is going to be coming down the pipe? What are your thoughts? After this video is done, please leave those in the comments. Definitely, if you're watching afterwards, leave those in the comments below. I'll try to focus on those. And we will go ahead and roll right into Q&A. Invite my wife over if she wants to join, but I don't know if she does. She's over there doing her good stuff. So she might pop in to say hi. I seeth she cometh. Very carefully. We're doing some reorganizing, so I've got some things jerry-rigged. So, okay. Yeah, there's my wonderful wife. Hey! Good to see you. It's great to see you. It's good to be back. Whew! It's been too long. It's been a long time since we've done this stream. It's mainly just get back on the horse, get going again. So I didn't want to do too much research requirement. I just want to do a bit more laid back. I guess the only other thing is we were on a meeting with Vocab. I'm plugging his book. I'm already plugging his book. I'm getting this going. Let's get going. Let's get going. He's working on a new book. It is fantastic. Hey! Hey, John. How's it going? Hi, Jeff. Jeff Ray. Sounds familiar.
Hello, everyone.
Probably. And my wonderful wife, who has now said hi.
Yes.
For the very first time.
So hi in the chat. But...
suspense. So put your questions in the live chat if you have them. We'll cover them. Again, it's been a while, so if you got a lot of questions, don't overwhelm me all at once. We're looking at... You want to talk about his book? Plug his book at all?
So for those of you who haven't read it, the current book that he has is Barack Obama versus the Black Hebrew Israelites, and it's not anything like political specifically about Barack Obama. Vocab just kind of used it as a launching pad because there was an encounter that was captured on film where Barack Obama ran into some Black Hebrew Israelites. Sometimes now they want to call them Hebrew Israelites. They're the ones who gave them both names, so you know what, whatever. And this was back before that was even a thing. But anyway, so it's a good book. It's got a crazy amount of resources. I love listening to books, and this does not work so much on Kindle, unfortunately, because when I hit my nice play button, it's like all these links, which is awesome because he's got so many resources, but just be aware that it's probably one to physically read. But yeah, it's really awesome. And if you aren't really familiar with the Hebrew Israelites and their movements and their tactics and all that, it's really important to be aware and be informed of what's going on, because if you read in the first just couple chapters into the book, you already see how devastating these movements can be. They rip apart families like crazy, and they're very, very racist and race-based. And so, especially in today's climate, it's important to be aware of and to know how to combat. So,
unfortunately, those ideologies also break us up, like you're saying, by our race and pit us against each other. That really isn't the biblical lesson. It really isn't the biblical view, because at the foot of the cross, we are all the same. We are all one at the foot of the cross. It doesn't matter what your race is. It doesn't matter what your gender is. That salvation is given to everyone, Jew, Gentile. Very grateful it's given to the Gentiles, considering I wouldn't be here. So, but yet these ideologies break us up and pit us against one another.
Yeah, so if you guys want to find out more about Vocab and his book, we did actually have him on a stream earlier this year. I think it was in March or so. Your brother in Christ has the full video from the live stream up on his channel. And then I've got a clip on mine from it as well. But yeah, definitely check that out. Check out his book, and we will try to link that.
And put that link in the... Actually, we'll just put that in the live chat. I'll put it in the description. Throw that up there. We're looking forward to seeing his future work. I guess got an advertisement for it, I think, at one point.
It's actually free on Kindle Unlimited if anyone has Kindle Unlimited. And the paperback is only $9. So
put that in the chat there.
Okay.
I'm be all fancy. I'm just copying, pasting it in willy-nilly.
Maybe I missed something. What are you guys talking about? It's going in private?
I think it was what I was talking about earlier. So, okay. Well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap that up here for now. Thank you guys for joining us on this. Look forward to doing our next live stream. I'm not sure what the topic's going to be yet. Oof.
Well, hello.
Hey! Watching. Wow.
South Carolina.
Cool. That's cool. It's late for you guys. I know, because it's late for me.
It's not that
It's late.
He's getting old.
I'm old. My wife is referring to me later.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, getting old. What was it that I was doing? What did I say earlier that you're like, you're just getting old?
A couple things. I don't remember what the first thing was. But he was talking about how tired he is after church.
I don't know.
And so I recommended we bump it back so that he can like relax and take a nap and stuff.
Yeah, so I went ahead and bumped it back. I didn't end up taking a nap, but no, well, say the way. I don't know. It was something yesterday that I mentioned, and you're like, you're just getting old. Well, maybe they carded you and then card me. That's what it was.
No, it wasn't that. I don't know what it was, though. Roblox church service.
Interesting concept, though.
Pull up John S.'s comment right there.
There you go.
I find the concept of not being a real Hebrew myself amusing, but the violence was very concerning. Yeah, a lot of it is very, not to take it lightly, but it's kind of comedic when you think about it, like saying, oh, like, I'm the only people group that God cares about when he created us all. It's just a little strange, amongst other things, where it's just silly. I mean, just like Islam, like, if you look into it, it's just silly. But we can't, like, just brush it off like, oh, that's no big deal, because, yeah, there is quite a lot of violence in both. I really do find those religions very similar.
That's crazy how similar they are. Yeah, you got it. Again, once you divide people and make an in crowd and an out crowd, it's very easy to justify any level of violence towards the out crowd. Definitely if it seems that the out crowd had some either legitimate or maybe illegitimate, at least abuse that was going on there to the in crowd that you've set up. So you have, if you can do that, then you can really control that in crowd. And definitely if you can help limit that down. I mean, we see that a lot with dictators who are rising to power, where they'll create this in crowd and feed them what they want, tell them they're victims, tell them they're enslaved, tell them that they are that they've been wrong somehow by the out crowd, and it's just justice for you to have a comeback against that in crowd. And then at that point, you're justifying any sort of violence towards that in crowd. And if someone is telling you you've got to go be violent and there's justifications for violence and you should so totally go and do that, then be aware that that's probably something screwy going on there, that he's using you to some advantage. Because what happens is when that dictator gets into power, the first thing they always do is kill off their supporters.
Yeah, it's great.
Is immediately eliminate many of the leaders that helped put them into power. And it's not just a one-time thing that we see. It has happened time and time again. So you got.
We have a question from
Where will you return? When will you reach? Oh, really?
When
we bought it.
Oh,
we bought it. We're keeping it. It's cold. It's miserable, but we bought it.
Do you want to read the whole question since you kind of trailed off and like people who can't read that don't know?
Sorry. Go ahead.
When will you return to Alaska?
Yes, when we return to Alaska. And he's talking in Russian.
Yes, sorry. I had to pull that up on Google Translate because I have no idea.
The answer is we are not. We bought it fair and square. It was by our own stupid fault, but we bought it. It's cold.
And then we've got another. And I gotta
comment.
translate real quick.
I don't have built-in. Okay, that doesn't help.
Different. Okay, hold on. What about the Americans? Collapsed or not? Us too?
I don't think that we are collapsed or in decline as far as America goes yet. I think we're getting in some trouble, though, to be honest with you. Very much trouble. Actually be fun. What's this one?
About the Roblox church service.
I don't know. I've been thinking about doing something gamey. I don't know. I want to do something Christmas. Definitely for the Discord server that we run. I want to do something Christmassy.
How so?
I don't know yet. Haven't got that far. My brain doesn't work that quick, okay? It's just something I wanted to do. Something Christmassy, but I'm not sure what to do yet. So maybe a Christmas live stream. Not sure. What are your guys' thoughts? Will that work out? I hope.
By Christmas, you mean like
sometime around Christmas.
Okay.
It's a Christmas shotgun effect, okay? It's just Christmas in the center, and we just spread out from there. Pick a lucky time.
It's not the center, it's the end.
No, it's not at the end. I might have a Christmas party afterwards.
No.
Christmas live stream.
It's not in the middle of the month, is what I meant. But yeah, they still a couple days after.
Probably. Maybe Christmas, New Year's party. Don't know.
I don't know, guys. I might have a whole lot of days after Christmas, actually. I might end up going to the 32nd day of December 2020.
No, I'm done. I quit. I'm done with this year.
Hey, you can't quit like you quit on our games earlier.
I quit on this. I quit on the freaking year. We're done with this one. Although now I'm kind of scared what's going to happen in 2021. Again, like I said, it might be really bad.
Make a story about Muhammad being Santa.
Muhammad being Santa.
Make it a competition to see who will make the best story.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, we could
like that.
I can almost see like doing something like that with Mad Libs.
12 days of Muhammad.
That would be so sad. That'd be the saddest Christmas
It's
ever.
Gonna be really bad. It'd be really, really bad. Do I have to sing it?
Muhammad's worse than the Grinch.
If I do like 12 days of Muhammad, do I have to sing it?
Yes.
Oh, I will get banned on YouTube.
Too bad Gen Z is not doing stuff anymore.
No, he wouldn't want to join anyway. That's going to be bad.
I know.
It's even on my level. Bad. It'll be fun, though. It will be memorable.
Well, hey, going back to an earlier thing, speaking of bad religions and Islam and Hebrew Israelism, shout out to another awesome Hebrew Israelism, Hebrew Israelite, ex-Hebrew Israelite, I guess, apologist, and he made this awesome shirt. It says, Jesus saves in Chinese. So, his name is Servant of Christ Ministries, Jordan Ortiz. He also wrote a book about Hebrew Israelism, and it is amazing. We've given out copies and everything. How the Prophets Stole Christmas. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I could totally see him being Grinch, actually. Oh, I don't have time to draw that. I have way too many drawings I need to do. That would be awesome to draw,
next
though.
year. You got a year to get it done.
Muhammad as the Grinch.
Hey, we heard it here. She's got to do it next Christmas. Although
Like I was just telling vocab, I have so many ideas. I just don't have the time. Vocab's got some fire ideas though. He was telling me all kind of things I should do with my origami.
I don't know because I wasn't part of that. I wasn't there for that. So I'm really looking forward to some of her ideas. And you'd have to go subscribe to her to find out what's going on with her channel and what craziness she comes up with.
Hey, Joel Harrison.
Hey, sup? Not much, doing some Q&A and then wrapping it on up. It's been so long since I've seen you guys that I did want to kind of stretch this out just to give us a bit of time to talk.
Now, Joel Harrison, which Joel are you? Because I know some Joels and I don't know their last names. So, sorry. Make a comic like a story, the story that won. That'd be cool. Hey, Rox.
Hey, welcome.
Missed you on vocab's thing, but good to see you here. I know you said you were at a Christmas cookie party. That sounds pretty good. I've got a shirt I've been meaning to wear lately. I totally missed it for my first Christmas party that I went to. But it says Christmas cookies for 2 or something like that. The first Joel.
The mod one. Hey.
Okay. That's what I was.
Link to her channel. Show that on off there. Plug that on in. Yes, a husband can shamelessly plug his wife's channel. There's no rule against it, and I'm doing it. Dang it. I gotta be a good husband at least a little bit. So. Oh, so yes. So,
Yes.
Since you're now here, and I went ahead and talked about my COVID experience earlier since we just got over it. What was your shindig?
I made a video back in summer about whatever I had from winter to summer.
That was bad.
Pretty much the whole time. 3 seasons. Just horribly sick. Not breathing well. Very bad chest pain, shortness of breath, whatever. And whatever that was, man, COVID is nothing compared to that. I don't know what that was, but yeah, COVID was a really bad cold. It was like having 2 really bad colds. The only thing that really, really was driving me absolutely crazy while I had COVID was not even COVID related. It was pregnancy related. And that's still a thing, even without COVID. So
yeah, it's been more.
I'm glad it's over.
Made it a bit more.
I'm glad it's over, and I can be like, hey, I can come to all your Christmas parties, and I won't give you COVID. You won't give me COVID. We're all good.
Yep. You can't get it again, which is the nice part. But at least according to the CDC.
Yes.
Because there's been 4 recorded cases, and at least one of them's disputed.
Yeah. So, well, and then there's been more than 4 false positives of COVID out of how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people who have had it.
That's so Roxby.
Yep. Yay. My friend's family's cookie party with her nieces and nephew.
Fantastic. Cool. That sounds fun.
Did you decorate them, or did you just make them all beforehand and exchange them? Oh, yes.
Babies. I guess you didn't see your video on it.
Wait, you did see my video on it. It had you in it. I made a video with you in it.
Yes, with you and Joel.
Yes.
Joel was in it.
Yes, Joel was also in it. Thank you, John.
There for the video?
Yeah, Joel saw the video too.
Okay, good. I was making sure.
I made sure everyone that I put in it saw it at least.
Hey, if we make a video all about you, do me a favor, show up for it. Okay, because it kind of defeats the purpose if it's in your honor if you don't end up watching it.
Everyone's saying congratulations, though. Thank you, guys. I'm super excited. Get to go see another ultrasound of the baby this week. So,
yep. And we got to find its gender out eventually.
Eventually.
I hate the waiting process. It sucks.
Yeah, and for me, this is an even bigger deal than the first pregnancy as far as the gender goes, because we didn't really have anything for the first baby. So it was a big deal because we wanted to buy stuff. But now we have bins and bins and bins and bins and bins of boy stuff.
Lots
and if
of boy
it's a
stuff.
girl, we are in trouble.
We got nothing.
We've got like, my mom saved like 4 or 5 of the like nice Easter and Christmas dresses that I wore when I was a baby, and that's about it. So
little boy is going to have either a little brother or a little sister. We'll find out. It'll be fun. He is definitely looking forward to it.
yes, and so we've been getting him stuff that says like Big Brother and stuff on it, and it's really cute. I don't know. When I see the things with Big Brother on it, I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel and take my finger from the buy button. But yeah, he's got like like Baby Shark, no copyright. We got him a shirt. This is
You're going to get this video taken down, not because of COVID, but because of copyright. Oh boy. Or the election. Man, this video has been one of those that's like hitting all the landmines.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Joel, because I have been struggling. I developed a pregnancy disorder called hyperdemus grandivarum or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, essentially means if I'm not constantly taking medicine, I can't keep anything down. So I have been in a rough spot, but I know a lot of you guys on the Discord have been praying for me for months and without even really knowing what was going on. So thank you, because that's extra cool. Yeah, I really appreciate all the support that you guys show our family. You guys are awesome.
Yes. Fantastic.
You guys
check one thing here. Oh, it was on the live streams. My mistake. I don't like how YouTube divides their stuff up.
What you're looking for?
Confusing me. I'm still making sure something is public. And yes, it is. Ha ha! Ah, there's a copyright claim against it. Ah! What?
I don't even know what would have been copyrighted in.
I don't know. I got copyright claim against my Let's Draw Mohammed.
Which is definitely his artwork.
It's my artwork.
So
like all of it. In fact, you could see me draw it on screen. I'm not sure why, but I will have to look into that. That says I don't have any copyrights. That's weird.
Well, that's super weird. Well, that's removal requests. So maybe it's just said you couldn't monetize it, which I'm not super concerned about because you can't monetize everything.
I don't have money. Well, wait, hold on. Copyright.
Oh wow!
Like last 3 of my streams have been copyrighted.
Is it like your intro music? Maybe.
My intro music is free.
I know it used to be, but maybe someone.
But even then, I got intro music on these.
They just didn't catch it. I don't know. That's weird.
It's weird. Ah!
Someone's probably just going through and reporting you for no reason.
Let's look at the details.
Oh yeah, it is the music used.
No, it's the sub button. It's the sub button. It's the clicking. It's the clicking.
Okay, that's not even what it's
that's
from.
Not even right.
Because I know what it's from. The click. Okay. Anyway, we'll have to deal with that later.
It claims I have some music going on with it.
When it's like the subscribe, click on the bell and everything.
Oh well, this one will definitely be copyrighted too, which I will have to look at and say, oh crap.
Nothing to see.
Well,
here.
I'm screwed.
Nothing to see here.
No. The Star Wars shirt. It's a Star Wars shirt. It's Lucasfilms are after me.
Oh no, you said their name too. So now YouTube's definitely gonna search for it.
Golly, I'm not claiming it in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, for some reason, I was thinking I'm kind of surprised the artwork one is still up. I'm actually kind of really crazily. Yeah, I can't believe they copyrighted my 500 sub one. Now I can't monetize it. What am I going to do for revenue? Oh, wait.
I think it's so funny when Muslims are like, you guys are literally just like hating on Islam to like make your living. And it's like,
I don't make money.
Neither of us are monetized, so
I make 0 off of these videos, so
yeah.
no, not a thing. Not a thing.
The only donations
for you
I've
guys for
gotten
free.
have been not Islam related. So
And how are those donation things going? The first one I know is good.
I was
The
sick
second one.
for like all of forever.
Considering some people.
I'm still struggling with it. But I love certain people that shall not be named, and
Show
I'm
some
working
serious
on it.
patience with you, right? Show some extreme patience. In fact, right now it's showing extreme patience.
Okay.
We must make sure to thank those people.
Yes, we thank that person who may or may not be watching and hope that we can thank them with results very soon.
Think of those results. False alarm. Yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah, he said not even Disney cares for the prequels.
Oh, actually, I didn't mind the prequels that much. I know I'm going in trouble for that.
Mandalorian?
The prequels. The Mandalorian. Oof, that one's actually pretty decent. I was surprised. I thought it was money grabbing. And then I watched it. I was like, that's actually pretty good. Who knew?
Yeah, I haven't seen the Star Wars movies because someone's like supposedly a fan, but clearly not enough to share it with the love of his life. I don't know. These things happen, I guess.
We've been moving through all my favorite movies. It takes a bit of time, okay?
But
we're still going through Star Trek.
We are up to date on The Mandalorian, and it is fantastic.
Actually, not. I don't think. I think we're behind now.
What?
We're behind one episode. We haven't watched one this weekend.
We just watched a couple days ago.
Yeah, that was getting caught up, I think. Okay. We might be behind.
Well, that's very exciting then.
I don't know
More
when
Mandalorian. Although I think we were using a 2-week free trial, and I'm pretty sure that was over like 2 weeks ago. So I'm not sure if like his brother's paying for it or what.
He's paying for it.
Alejandro, thank you.
Hey, welcome.
Roxby, I gotcha. But you generally don't watch like the sci-fi things, right? Because I didn't really watch sci-fi things before I met him either. But I also didn't eat meat or sugar. Or like high fructose corn syrup.
I sucked into all that stuff real quick. Didn't matter much. It doesn't really work so well when you're dating someone that goes out and hunts.
As a vegetarian, yeah.
Doesn't work. No.
Star Wars has amazing world building and lore, but all the movies have kind of weird writing. They could do so much.
That I actually agree with. I did like some of the movies I do like, some of the movies I really don't like. But you're right. The world building itself, the lore, is extremely deep, and I really do enjoy that.
Yes.
So.
Roxby says she doesn't watch a lot of stuff. She prefers books. Yeah.
What books?
I
do a lot of sci-fi books. I do it because I drive. And new people on visit. Since I'm doing contract work, I've got a new customer that's over 2 hours away. Just over 2 hours away. So in order to go visit them, I got to drive 2 hours that way and then drive 2 hours back. And man, that's a long time. I had to go back to some old books.
Yes.
I had to go back to the Butlerian Jihad.
You try to show me whatever movie goes with that. Ugh.
That was not that one. It was a different one. We watched Dune, okay?
We watched part of Dune.
We
still have like 40 minutes left.
Okay, I forgot how graphic it is. So that kind of was my screw up, not to kind of prep you. Maybe I should have pre-watched it.
I don't know.
Because it's been a few years, okay? It's been years.
It's good to have really bad guys, but not bad guys that are like,
so bad.
I'm having a really hard time holding my food down anyway.
Okay, so
and this
I also had really
the
bad timing, right? I had really bad timing in doing this, and it gets. For those of you that aren't familiar with Dune, it does get kind of graphic whenever they're talking about the Harkonnen. But yeah, I'm sorry, I have bad timing with that one. I have no excuse.
It's okay.
I really should have remembered that. I'm a big fan of the books. In fact, I've probably listened to books like 800 times just because I've listened to them since I was 16. But I haven't seen the movie since I was 18, so
Wow.
it's been a long time.
Long time.
Okay, stop it with the old jokes.
Really, really long time. Wow.
I walked into that
So
one.
that's
My
been
hair
what,
hurts.
like 40 years ago?
Not 40. My gosh, I'm not
See?
that old.
See, I just made you feel young. You're welcome.
No, you made me feel old because it looks like I'm 40.
No,
Wow.
40 plus 18, that's 58.
Okay, this stream's done. I'm going to bed. It's way past my bedtime. Where are my dentures?
Hey, Roxby said she just bought the books on Kindle.
Oh, yeah. Which one? Which ones?
To reread. Wow.
Which ones? Because there are like 50. Not 50, but there are quite a few. Let's see, but you have Dune. You have Dune Messiah. You have Hall of Dune. I'm not that old. I'm not
He's
that
only
old.
58. Okay.
Go get a walker. So there are a bunch of them. They can't get weird there at the end. The writer of that one was really kind of going down mentally, and you kind of see it with some of the books because it kind of goes like weird. And then his son picks it up afterwards. His son starts writing those books, and he kind of had to fill in a lot. So
Rox will send me a screenshot. I'm assuming of the.
Will you
stuff?
have your phone?
No.
Because it's not going to work if you don't have your phone. So I'm curious to know which ones it is because I do really enjoy those books. I enjoy the prequels they did was really good. In Balerian Jihad, you had the Machine Crusade, and then you had the Battle of Corn. Those were really good books as far as from a writing standpoint. Yes, I have and definitely loved it. Oh, I can't find the last. I like the last one. I like all of them except for the last one. The last one was hard to read. And I think he was trying to do some political talking, but really trying to disguise it as much as possible. And I think he kind of lost me. And although I do really love C.S. Lewis's writings, and I quote him left and right, but
I was freaking out with, let's see, was Paralander first or second?
Second. It's Our Silent Planet, Paralandra.
Yeah. I was freaking out with Paralandra because something that they set up so well, and it was perfect execution, was the prophecy in Genesis about and he shall bite his heel and he shall crush his head, referring to like the serpent and the offspring of Eve. Anyway, but they did that in the book. C.S. Lewis played that out really, really well in like a unique twist way. And I was like, oh, I get it. I don't know. I was very excited. I love C.S. Lewis.
We're big fans of C.S. Lewis, obviously. Let's see, Roxby, what are you into here?
Loading.
A long loading screen, which doesn't speak well to my internet. Probably because I'm using most of it to stream.
Well, I haven't turned on my data, but let me turn off the internet first. Loading.
Still loading. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, that's.
Wow, longer loading.
Is there a problem with your phone or something?
Yeah, okay. I'll probably need a new phone at some point.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. No phone. Those she's had it for a while.
Yeah, I love ZTE because they send you free phones when your phone doesn't work.
Yeah, but the Chinese are also listening in on every conversation.
No, you just turn those features off. Besides, they're always listening anyway.
That's probably true.
Is it weird for me to have a love of world building for novels, even though I barely read? I think it's the imagination for me. Well, no, especially because you are a writer. I mean, you were talking about it earlier about how much you love world building, even though you aren't as good at plots.
Well, My dad's he is a Christian author, and he does do science fiction is his forte from a Christian perspective. So yeah, he loves doing world building. I'm not as good as a writer as he, but I can keep his entire story world all jammed in my head and be able to keep track of multiple timelines. And I don't know how many times he's like, "Oh, I want to do this." I'm like, you can't. You establish this as part of your world, so you can't violate that. You know, there's no transporting while at warp, even if you have some magical calculations. Bullcrap. Sorry, you establish it in your world. You've got to keep it up.
Unrelated, but Rox, can you send it to me on Messenger? Because for some reason, Instagram is not working.
Instagram's being a bit of a pain. And here I was going to review your book list, which is very disappointing.
Book list? Oh,
well, yes. She's
you know
sending
what?
a list of books.
Okay, guys. I've been going to sleep when my son goes to sleep at like 9 the last couple nights. And so after 9 the last couple nights, I've been
very, very late.
About
But say la vie. It could be worse.
Well, it was worse, yeah. I'm just glad I don't have to do anything critical right now.
Sorry, that copyright claim age restriction. Oh, that makes sense. Looking at my old videos, I got an age restriction on my 9/11 video, which kind of does make sense.
Did you do that?
Graphic. I didn't do it. They did to me.
Yeah, okay. Messenger worked right away. I don't know what Instagram
Fantastic.
did.
So what you got?
Okay.
Dune.
Dune.
Oh, you gotta zoom in and see the subtitles.
Oh wow, I'm little. We are little.
There's a little version of us. She's got the same thing I got on my phone. Okay. Hey. Zoom up. Zoom in. Okay, so that's the original. So you got the first one.
That is unrelated.
Got that one.
That's like a Yahweh thing.
Yeah. Okay. I got the I am thing. That's pretty obvious. Children of Dune. Okay, so that's the second book. God Emperor of Dune. Okay. You're going through the original. Okay. Heretics of Dune. Okay. Dune Messiah. Yep.
Okay, yeah, so those
the other two
1,
weren't
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
See, I still they get really weird as that series progresses. It gets, if you look up the first 3 series, I really like it. I really, really love those. I've listened to the first 3 because they're good as standalone by themselves. So I'd really say if you're going to read some, once you're done with those, go back to the original because his son did the original author's son wrote the prequel series, and there's 3 of them. So again, Butlerian Jihad, Machine Crusade, and Battlecorn. And it's basically the whole Dune's whole setup, how they got to where Paul and his whole story starts, why there were things the way they were. It's really cool how they tie it in. And I'm one that loves story building. So being able to see how everything ties into one another and how everything just snaps in place was really, really cool for me. I love things that have that deep aspect to it. So.
Elijah Guy says, I think it mainly has to do with my satisfaction with history, as I like to write mostly fantasy, like realism, and I love making empires and stories.
Yes, I agree with you. I love history. I love history. That's why I've been enjoying so much our series that I've been going through with the Rightly Guided Caliphs. I've been just absolutely enjoying going through that series with you, even though I've only done 2 out of 4. It's still really cool. It's cool to uncover these histories and see, oh, so that's where that comes from. You know, the Quran. Oh, he's the one that put it all together. You know, okay, that's when they expanded out. And the fact that they were the aggressors, which is very, very obvious. And taking over. Now, again, they kick some serious butt. But yeah, they were the ones pushing out the Christians. And yes, there was a time of peace very early on with the Christians, but that didn't last. In fact, that's kind of what stirred, one of the things that stirred the Crusades. So it's interesting to see the starting points of those Crusades and the history, even this early on. And again, because so many people say, well, the Crusades and jihad, and they were all the same time period. It's like, no, this is hundreds of years beforehand. They're declaring jihads and attacking Christians using that. So, okay. Well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We've been on for about an hour. I do like doing this a bit of a later time. Let me know from you guys if you guys like it or not. And we will go ahead and see about doing more of these later on towards the evening time for me. But for you, it might be a better time in the day. So thank you guys so much for joining us. And I will see you guys next time. I don't have an obvious baby distraction. I'm sorry. I'm still getting my act together. I'm so bad. But God is so good.
Yes.